What is mind branding? Mind branding is a dynamic language learning tool that can help you master your target language. Basically, mind branding is exclusive, developed by us based on these other dynamic teaching tools that we have discussed, and synergistically pulls them together into a single learning method. How? Well, mind branding is based on circadian study cycle, which we talked about. It's based on the 1-minute memory trace. It uses audio feedback. It can employ synergistic finger spelling, the use of keyword isolation, writing key thoughts in red. It taps into your personal core vocabulary, helps you build your global core vocabulary. And of course, we talked about chunking. All of these methods are rolled together into one single learning system. How? By use of a flip book. By combining all of the things that we've learned into a very manageable and simple item, a flip book. Now, why is a flip book so dynamic? Well, a flip book is very similar to a stack of flashcards, word flashcards. And you might remember the quote from Paul Nation that over 100 years of language learning research bears out that flashcards are still one of the very best ways to learn a language. Now, a flip book, however, has a dynamic advantage over flashcards. Simply, if I drop them, everything is now disorganized, everything's a jumbled mess. I can control things with a flip book. We're going to see one of the dynamic aspects of a flip book is what we talked about earlier, the 1-minute memory trace. So the point is, the fundamental basis of mind branding is simply to write down front and back the sentence structures, the phrases that you want to learn. Write these in your flip book, but the key is to never work with more than 10 or 12 structures or word phrases at a time. Now, you can accomplish that simply in a flip book by marking the 11th page. You can use whatever system you like. Red dots, black dots. I don't know if you can see that. They're simple blue dots marked with a pen, and it's there for a very important reason. The 1-minute memory trace. Now, what generally happens when we have a stack of word flashcards? I don't know about you, but what I've seen people do is they go through the entire stack of 40 or 50, maybe 30 cards all at one time. And then when they get to the end, they go back, card number 1, and maybe they go through them a second time, 10, 20, 30 flashcards. They go back again, one at a time, until they've done 30, 40, 50 cards. Now, as we've discussed earlier with the 1-minute memory trace, that's too long of a period of time. A flip book helps you control that. It helps you solve that problem because you can mark that 11th page where you want to stop, and it forces you to stop through that visual reminder so that now you go back to page 1. You go through 10 cards, you stop because it's marked. Go back again to page 1, go through your 10 phrases, your 10 sentences, stop. You're reminded by those markers. So that's one of the principal advantages of a flip book and one of the basic foundations of mind branding. Now again, with flashcards, if you have a flashcard marked with those red dots, every 10th card, and you drop them, you've got a mess on your hand. Now you have to go back through them. You have to pull out those visual stop reminder cards with the red dots. You've got to put them in place. It's a long and time-consuming and laborious effort. So that's kind of an introduction to the flip book. And now we're going to talk in the next video clip how we can pull in to this simple little book some of the dynamic principles that we've discussed in our other video training clips. Mind branding, a dynamic language learning tool.